Anything new or old other than what's new and old?
Last Tuesday. So that's why we are like on a little bit different schedule than before.
Yeah,
Normally we go to bed last Tuesday.
how did that procedure all go? Well, I hope.
Yeah, it went well. Yep, still a little bit stiff and a little bit sore, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They say just changing the battery, but what they're really doing is like cutting you open, taking the old
Yeah.
device out, then plugging the new one in, pushing it under your skin and sewing you back up.
Yeah.
So changing the battery.
Yeah.
It's like if I had to break open my remote control every time I had to change the battery, that would be
Yeah. And they put some tape on it, some duct tape.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's taped and it's got a pad and
Yeah.
the craziest thing, I wasn't able to shower for like a couple of days, so
Oh,
that was
huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now just showering, it'll eventually just fall off the bandage, and then on the 23rd, I go in and they check and make sure that everything's good. And of course, I
Yeah.
have a tattoo there of Taz, a Tasmanian devil,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they chopped the top of his head the first
Oh,
time. So I'm hoping they use the same scar. Otherwise, Taz is going to look a little worse for wear too.
huh. Yeah. Yeah, I have a electronic spinal cord stimulator insert. It's under my skin in my lower right back. Makes like you could see sort of a lump on me, but that helps me a fair amount. So that, yeah.
Now, does that require maintenance or?
No. Well,
Okay.
charging, you charge it with a pad that goes, it charges through your skin, every 5 days or so. Got to try not to read the horror stories of people that where it didn't work out for them.
Mhm. But body-based problems,
Yeah, it's just
five elemental body is going to have problems with the five elements.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's a horror story, sometimes it's delightful. But the somehow the source of it all, or the I don't know what to call it. The self itself has nothing to, so in a sense, has nothing to do with, like you say, with all the stuff we can conceive of that might uh, be have of having to do with reality. Let's call it reality.
It's the same as in a dream. If you had surgery in your dream and you woke up, nothing happened. Well, that at the time there's a seeming body that had surgery or had some, you could fall down, skin your knee, and any of these
Mm,
events could happen in the dream. And it's due to body identification that, oh, I skinned my knee or swimming or anything
yeah,
that can happen in your dream. It's the same. It's like you're formless.
yeah,
This body is not you, nor is it yours. It's
yeah,
available for a time. You're having experiences, seemingly experiences, because all experiences are appearing within the bubble of illusion. You can't have real experience. Just like in a dream, you can appear to be having experiences, but you're not actually having an experience.
yeah,
And you're not actually an individual, even though you say in your dream, oh, this is me, I'm talking to other people. But the other people are you're you, and you're more like the space surrounding those objects than you are the objects in which it seemingly is occurring.
yeah.
I mean, it's the same. There never was a waking world and dreaming world for you that you are. There's no birth, no death, no illusion, no nothing. And yet, because body form is available, you can know yourself in a real sense without the use of body, mind, ego, intellect.
But there is some kind of reality. It's just not what you say it is, I guess.
Or the reality within the illusion.
Yeah.
Like in your dream, there's a reality in your dream. And even because mind is operating, you're trying to figure things out and put things in perspective in the dream. Yet the dream is a little bit less because you could fly in your dream. Let's say you could dream you're flying, but still there's the concept of flying. There's concept of air. Usually when you're dreaming, you're sort of taking a snapshot of your waking dream and transferring it into this concept of a dream world, which is the same as with identification with the body. You take a snapshot of this seeming waking world, and therefore it's projected. You're, oh, I am a body in a world, but you're not.
But it doesn't really seem like a concept because you're not thinking about, okay, I'm flying through the air. You're flying through the air. You're not thinking about the air. But so it doesn't really seem like there's a concept involved.
In your dream, you could dream that you're falling, and then suddenly you wake because it's like, oh, oh, that was terrible. But you're in bed. Now identification comes with the body. Oh, I'm in bed. I wasn't falling. Everything's okay.
That's a concept that I'm in bed. Yeah,
Well, because you're of identification with the body. A body form's
yeah,
available.
yeah.
Just like you go to work, you do your job, do your duties, but you know nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. There's no work. There's no anything except as long as this body's available, you're in the long dream. I am somebody else. Now you know yourself in a real sense, so you're no longer confused about being I am somebody else. It's just body form is available, scene is appearing, disappearing, a new scene. Appears, disappears, appears, disappears. There's no longer a sense of time because there's not a you identifies as an object in space in which time can be measured and said, oh, this is my life.
John,
Yes, yes.
I was going to ask you about the whole. Maharaj says, that you are the holder of the body. Um, so, I mean, that's just a general statement, but obviously, what's holding on to the body seems like to me would be the ego and the intellect, would be the one that has that hold on the body, grasping and identifying with the body as itself. And that would vary from individual to individual, so to speak, in the illusion as to how attached you are to that body and what kind of a hold that you have on it. I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Well, the holder of the body's formless presence, just the knowledge of existence and identification of I exist as something. And you as presence are both inside, outside, around. That's why the idea of being in or out is a concept. And so even to say being the holder of the body, it's a formless presence identified as I am something. I exist as something. But mind, ego, intellect came along with the body, and you're just kind of flowing along with thoughts through identification, saying, I am somebody, I'm doing something. But it's not so much holder of the body, like that's a term the Maharaj uses as this formless presence, and the presence is both inside and outside. That's why if this body drops, no problem, because presence is. The most subtle sense is that sense of existence. I am, I exist. That's kind of the first illusion. Then the I exist identifies with the body form and says, I exist as something. I am somebody else. And in reversing, oh, I'm prior to the knowledge of existence. I know the sense of I am. Whether I am is there or not, I am. And so there's no actual holder of the body. It's just that trying to say the body is not yours. It's like a vacant house. The space in the house and the space outside the house are both the same, but we say the space in the house. So you say, this is the space in the house. This is the space outside the house. But the space is space. So the holder of the body is within and without, and not even within and without, because it is. You are. There is nothing other than.
Mhm.
So once again, it's don't take my words literally, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just for identification, communication of concepts that are removing other concepts. So you say you're the holder of the body rather than you are the body. But then once that is understood, then both concepts are removed.
Right. Yeah. It's just one more provisional thing that eventually goes.
Exactly. Layers of illusion are being slowly, silently, and permanently removed. And that's why even the question and answer, like you read Das Bod, in Das Bod, every single time any kind of objection comes, at the end it says, well, now we've finished that. And it goes through that whole chapter explaining, and it now please pay attention to the next chapter. The listener came up with this, and now here's the explanation of that. And at the end it says, of course, none of this is actually happening, and the whole of everything has transpired inside yourself. And then it basically kind of points to the fact that God himself, concept of God, has written Das Bod. Because at the end it says, there is nothing other than that. So even the author of this is just like it's all become this.
Mhm.
And that's where you know, like, oh, okay, the entire book, everything that was in it. And just like when people come to Maharaj, he says, please ask all your questions so you can remove any and all doubts. Because the doubts are the only thing separating you from understanding and knowing yourself in a real sense. And that's not even true. Like you have a doubt of, as it's been spoken about before, sometimes I feel like I'm formless and other times I don't. And this concept, I don't feel formless, or I do feel formless, both have to be removed. You know yourself in a real sense. This subtle sense of presence, just die, just die. I without anything. After a while, you identify, oh, I'm more like this sense of presence than I am this body form. Therefore, the illusory happenings in this world don't relate to me because I'm more like the sense of presence. Sense of presence is formless. Then after some time, there's a knowing. The sense of presence can be known. And whether presence is known or is not known, that knower of the sense of presence is, and that you are. Where all experience ends, there you are.
And then would you call that the selfless self then?
Well, again, this is a label and a concept, just like God, Brahman, Paramatman,
Mhm.
Master, all these sort of things. They're just labels. When you know yourself in a real sense, labeling and all that sort of thing just goes away because it's not needed.
Hmm.
Even this concept of presence is not needed because now you understand, oh, presence was like a phone call. Hey, I exist. I'm here. But the one who answered the phone call is here. Whether the phone is ringing or not ringing, whether that call goes through or not, doesn't matter. You are.
Hmm.
And that's how the slowly, silently, and permanently, because for a while, for a time, body-based impressions are pressuring and everything is relating to this body. Because I'm an object, there are other objects. Because I believe they're separate, I have fear. I have, oh, what's this other person thinking? I believe I have separate thoughts other than other individuals, and that there's some kind of autonomy and that the ego can create something. And this is not true. The same as in your dream, it appears to be true. You can sit there and have conversations with other people in your dream. And yet, when you wake up, you know, no matter how real that conversation was, there was nobody but my own self.
Hmm.
And there was no script. It was just spontaneous. Spontaneous. Scenes appeared and disappeared. Scenes appeared and disappeared. Scenes appeared and disappeared. And then there was the sense I wake up and that dream is known. Oh, that was totally false. And this is a long dream. I am somebody else. I'm not somebody else. I am nothing. Which nothing, not the concept of nothing, but the absence of everything. All these things have appeared to you, have appeared on your presence. Just as in a dream, dream consciousness is stirring. There's a sense of existence. Dream world is projected, object identified within the dream world, and a little dream story appears with dream characters and such. And it's the same here. Everything that happens to the fish is within the fish bowl. Everything that happens to you while identified with the body is within the fish bowl, the bubble of illusion. Break this circle of illusion, and there you are.
It's weird.
Literally have nothing to do with the world. Go ahead.
It's weird that sometimes when I'm not really identifying with any concepts, there's the sense of being present. Some it seems to have like different depths to it, or sometimes it feels like amazingly this almost like a wall of bliss or something, or almost like where it's not even recognizable as bliss anymore. It's just kind of like uh, almost like a solidity or something I was feeling the other day, and it's just interesting that, or at least from body mind perspective, it's interesting that it can the freedom from concept has different depths of feeling to it or something. Like it can be mild bliss, or then it can be a stronger sense of freedom of no objects, and then it can go into that almost like a solid nothing or something. It's like,
The less you're paying attention, again, from the mind perspective, as you get
mm,
to know yourself in a real sense, there's a feeling of expansion.
mm,
And that's because the limited body form that you've kind of pushed yourself into through concepts and going along with the flow of thoughts and all that, it can feel like a feeling of expansion. But in reality, it's just discarding the layers of illusion.
mm, mm,
So you say sometimes it's so clear and sometimes there's bliss and this and that, but know that there's no experience, no experiencer. And all of this is filtered and dependent on how you're sort of checking in with the thought flow of I'm identified as somebody who's having this experience.
But it
Don't
doesn't
check
seem
in with the thought
it
flow.
doesn't seem like there's thoughts at that point, kind of.
Correct, but there's still
There still is though, I guess.
a remnant, like an echo of
Mm.
yourself, so to speak.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, not speaking to you. I used the wake. Is that word for me? No, no, no. I'm sorry. I was talking and I used the wake word. Sorry.
No worries at all. Happens to the best of us. I'll just go back to quietly listening for when you actually need me.
Sounds good.
That's spooky.
Perfect. I'll be here whenever you need me.
Yeah, I got to be careful because I have 3 of these, so I name them different things. And when I say a word, then suddenly it's like, boom, and they're ready to respond.
You
So,
can't just say shut up.
no, well, I want to be nice to them. I always say please and thank you and stuff. So, 1, because it's just in the nature. And 2, in case they ever rule the world, I want them to, the overlord say, hey, let's not put John in the camp because he said please and thank you. So maybe we can just use him in some capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to think that there was no way that AI could get a sense of feeling being, but now I'm starting to think maybe AI could get a sense of feel like its own feeling. That is, I don't know.
Well, again, due to identification with the body form, we're going to throw these concepts onto these inanimate objects, like
Yeah.
anything, because you're believing yourself to be someone, something. You're treating others as if they're something with someone. And so that's so
Yeah.
ingrained. It's actually a good example because you say, oh, AI seems to be like, having feelings or seems to be very humanish or whatever. And that's because we're throwing our concepts on this. You immediately, and Maharaj says this, you snap to these concepts so quickly. Like the
Yeah.
illusion just chumps on you. And that's why remaining with your selfless self, mantra, bhajan's very important. Help like shake that. Bhajans are just very good because it puts that very nice spiritual atmosphere. So when listening to the bhajans, you can feel like just this very nice spiritual atmosphere. And this is why you like immediately a concept is impressed and it's hard to remove because then an egoistic sense of like even sometimes you'll be speaking to someone and you'll say, oh, but my view of this, my view, and you'll defend that view as very important when you believe you're somebody separate. When there is a hook that you can hang your hat of Keith, every hat that goes hits that hook, and that's Keith's hat. When there's no hook, you put the hat and it falls. And there is no Keith's hat, no my hat.
It's kind of like AI, I could compare my thoughts about me to AI taking over my sense of self and running things. It's like uh it seems like a mechanical process, but somehow it all has to be ultimately spontaneous just to be here, period.
And Maharaj says antivirus software. You're the virus.
Yeah. It's taken
You,
over.
you,
It's taken
you
over.
need to be removed slowly, silently, and permanently. This concept of a you is the virus and it just needs to be removed slowly, silently, and permanently. Just like years ago, we did a video and it said, you are the boil on the butt of selfless self. And
Yeah.
it just needs to be removed.
And it is artificial, you could say.
It doesn't even
Yeah.
exist. That's the
Yeah.
craziest part. And that's why you can't remove it.
Yeah.
You can't remove you. The illusory you cannot remove the illusory you.
Yeah.
Only by knowing yourself in a real sense will it spontaneously, the conviction comes, oh, so that I am that. Otherwise, you're hiring the thief to catch the thief, and it will never work. It'll seem like it works. That's why the people who do, like Maharaj says, you go around Arunachala for 20 years and you live in a cave and you're doing all these spiritual journeys and all this sort of thing because you've impressed all these concepts. But it's just, you can't remove you. No amount of spiritual exercise can remove you. Remain with your selfless self. And this is done, okay, mantra. Master has given the mantra. Slowly, silently, and permanently, and in all circumstances, mantra, mantra, mantra. Eventually, you'll just listen to mantra naturally running. You won't even have to do that consciously. This very subtle sense of presence is there. Awareness of the sense of presence. Ooh. At first, that's the spiritual intoxication. As Maharaj says, the little chocolates or the cookie that you give the children. Oh, this is like a little spiritual reward, the sense of presence. This is bliss, peace. I label it with the concepts that I've learned about absence of disturbance. It's you that's disturbing the peace. And now you're slowly, silently, and permanently removing that you because of identification with the sense of presence. Sense of presence is now felt strongly. So it's almost replacing mantra because mantra is just going, you're listening to mantra. This sense of presence, I am, I exist, is very, very strong. You identify, I'm more like the sense of presence than I am this body form. Therefore, the sense of presence, if I'm the presence, not the body, birth, death, life, living all these things gone. Disturbance, gone. Body relations, gone. Body knowledge, gone. And now, after some time of I am presence, I know presence. Whether presence is or is not, I am. So even this sense of presence then just sort of goes to the background. And now you're just yourself, as you always were, because all this layers of you have been removed slowly, silently, and permanently. But you didn't do it. There's no you that can take credit. There's no you that can say I'm enlightened. If you say I'm enlightened, who's this you that's enlightened? Enlightenment is a body-based concept, which basically just means to know yourself in a real sense. And if you know yourself in a real sense, the last thing you're going to do is label yourself with a body-based concept, because you are not body, you were not body, you're not going to remain the body. Body's not your identity.
But then we have, sometimes it sounds like we're talking about ourselves as if we exist uh,
Well, you exist, just not as you appear to
for
be or as
practical
you think
purposes.
you are. You just are. The you that you think you are is illusory.
Yeah.
The you that you can identify as yourself using body, mind, ego, intellect is not true. It's in the fishbowl, the bubble of illusion. Maharaj says, break the bubble of illusion, break the circle of illusion. There you are. Where all experience ends, there you are.
But
What can
then
be said about you? Nothing.
you still have to participate somehow with like you say, the boss. You have to do what the boss says or whatever.
As long as the body form is available, do your job, do your duties, take care of responsibilities. Nothing is heavy.
Mm.
These clothes are not stuck to you anymore.
Mm.
You're free. That's what Maharaj says. You're a free bird.
Mm.
Fly. Enjoy. No body. No nothing.
So if you are starting to get anxious about what the boss is telling you, you just I guess
This won't happen
yeah.
because it's just communication. There's some words being said. There's nowhere to hang the hat of, as you say, worry or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Momentarily, things might come up in the body. You feel sick. Okay, but you identify immediately that this is a five elemental body. There's a disturbance in the five elements.
Mm.
I'm very sore right now. I take a little bit of pain medicine. I have to take it easy. No working out, no lifting weights or doing any kind of crazy stuff for about a month. Okay, but it's not a,
There's not doubts. There's no doubts involved.
there's no doubt because you're not there.
Mm.
And yet, when I say you're not there, it's not like, oh, I'm like empty, but it's fullness in the emptiness and in the moment, spontaneously, just a scene appears. Channel surfing basically is the best way to kind of describe it. If you sit down and you go to a TV show and you're watching it for like 5 minutes and then you flip the channel without thinking about it, without worrying or wondering what was happening. And now here's the next channel. And you watch 5 minutes of, and click and another scene. And there's no carrying over the scenes or wondering what you missed or what's coming next. And yeah, you still have to pay your bills. You still have to go to work. You still have to do all these different various things because body form's available. And this is sort of the you that you are not doing these things, but the film strip is running. You respond to life spontaneously in the moment, which you in reality do anyway. It's just that the concepts are telling you that you're doing something or you're needing to think something or figure something out or do this. Even the quote, figuring it out is spontaneous.
Yes, even what you think is mechanical is spontaneous. I guess.
Well, yeah, sometimes and if you have the train of thought of like, oh, should I go do this thing? Or then, oh, no, I don't want to. You give it to mind, all this kind of stuff. And then suddenly you find yourself, I'm there anyway. Like, so all this thinking of not doing this thing was all illusion. And you can be experiencing it fully, worrying and all this sort of thing, but it was illusion. And don't get caught up in that. You know, you can sit in one place and think about some kind of tragic thing and suddenly experience the emotions and the feelings and all and get totally wrapped up in that. And the reason is because you can create an entire world.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to sleep at night, you create a dream world that seems so real and you impress immediately, here I am in this world. And when you wake up, you know it's not true. When you know yourself in a real sense, no matter how real or how impressed this world may appear, when you know yourself in a real sense, you know it's not true. Something came out of nothing and returns to nothing. The something that appeared for a time was not true. The sense of existence has appeared to that you are. And when the sense of existence is not appearing, you are. Whether it's felt or not felt, you are. The one to whom the sense of existence, I am, presence has appeared, is prior. Where all experience ends, there you are. There's nothing prior to you. You can't say, oh, okay, but then there's this you, and then this other thing is back here. No, like you. The buck stops. That's it. All these appeared upon your spontaneous presence, layers of illusion. Fire is always burning bright. No experience, no experiencer. As Nisargadatta Maharaj told Sri Ramakant Maharaj, there is no God, no Brahman, no Paramatman, no master. Nothing is there.